All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about leveling up your English. I'm not just talking about being correct. I'm talking about the kind of English that gets you hired, gets you that promotion, and earns you respect. It's about shifting from just being understood to being genuinely persuasive. So, let's get into it.
Have you ever had that feeling, you're in an interview or maybe a big meeting and you say something that's grammatically perfect, but it just falls flat? It doesn't have the punch you wanted. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. That's the exact gap we're going to close today.
Take a look at this. It seems like such a small change, right? But the difference in meaning is huge. The first sentence, I worked. It sounds like a closed chapter in your life. It's over. But the second one, I have been working. That tells a totally different story. It says you're experienced and you're still in the game. It connects your past right to the value you bring today. That is the kind of power we are unlocking. Okay, so our first level up is all about mastering the present perfect tense. And listen, this isn't just some boring grammar rule. Think of it as a strategic tool you can use to show that your experience isn't just ancient history. It's fresh, it's current, and it's relevant right now.
So here's the breakdown. The present perfect simple. That's like your trophy case. It's for finished achievements. I have passed the exam. Boom, it's done. You've got the certificate. The continuous form, on the other hand, is all about the journey you're still on. I have been working. It puts the focus on your ongoing experience and your dedication.
So how do you choose? Here's a super simple test you can use anytime. Just ask yourself this one question. Is the action over? If the answer's yes, go with the simple form. If it's still happening, use continuous. Seriously, this one little question will help you pick the right tense and make you sound way more professional.
All right, on to level 2. Now we're going to talk about something I call gerund power. Getting these right is a total power move. It's what makes you sound more decisive, more confident, and just more articulate when you're talking business.
So, what the heck is a gerund? It's really simple. You just take a verb, like manage, add ing to it, and suddenly it's a noun, managing. And why should you care? Because it lets you talk about actions, like managing, analyzing, or leading, as if they are concrete things, as skills you possess. And that's absolutely key in a professional setting.
You're going to see these pop up in 3 main places. First, you can use them to start a sentence, which makes you sound really authoritative. Second, and this one is a biggie, you use them right after prepositions like in, on, or for. And third, they follow certain verbs like enjoy or consider. If you can get these 3 down, you're going to see a huge improvement. And this slide right here shows the #1 mistake people make. Our brains want to say, I'm interested in to develop, but nope, it's in developing. Now the first one is pretty clear, but check out the second one. I look forward to meeting you. This one trips up so many people. You see the word to, and you automatically think it needs a verb like meet. But in the phrase look forward to, that to is actually a preposition. Getting this little detail right is a massive signal that you've got real fluency.
Okay, level 3. This is where we bring it all home. Once your grammar is solid, it's time to start using the specific words and phrases that signal to everyone that you're a true insider, that you speak the language of your profession.
And a huge part of that is understanding something called collocations. Don't worry about the fancy name. All it means is words that just sound right together. They're natural partners, like saying take ownership instead of something clunky like get ownership. Using these is what makes you sound natural and not like you just memorized the dictionary.
Here are a few heavy hitters you can start using immediately. Instead of I was responsible for it, try I took ownership of it. Instead of we used facts, say our decision was data-driven. You see, these phrases are instant upgrades for your professional vocabulary.
Precision is also a big deal when you talk about your education. These 3 verbs, pass, graduate, complete, they are not the same thing. You pass a test, you graduate from a university with a degree, and you complete a specific course. Using the right verb shows that you have an eye for detail. And believe me, that's a skill every employer is looking for.
So, we've got the right tenses, we've got the right words, but we're not done yet. The final piece of this puzzle is a bit more subtle. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it, how you frame your ideas, especially when the stakes are high, like in a job interview.
Just look at this. This is the art of diplomatic framing. The golden rule is you never say anything negative about a past job or boss. Instead, you reframe it. You turn the negative past into a positive future. So your old job wasn't boring, you're just looking for new challenges. See the difference?
This shows incredible emotional intelligence and professionalism.
This really boils down to one crucial rule for any interview. Whenever you're asked why you're leaving a job, always frame your answer around what you're moving toward, not what you're running away from. Focus on what this new opportunity offers, not on what your old job lacked.
So let's pull all three of these levels together. We've moved from the basic building blocks of grammar to the insider vocabulary, all the way to high-level communication strategy. This is how you really build and craft a powerful professional voice.
So here's your cheat sheet, your 3-level upgrade. First, to sound current, use the present perfect to link your past experience to right now. Second, to sound confident, use gerunds to talk about your skills like they're solid objects. And finally, to sound like an insider, use those professional word pairings and that smart diplomatic framing.
Because at the end of the day, that's what all of this is for. These are tools to help you tell your professional story in the most compelling way you can. The grammar, the vocabulary, the framing, it's all part of your personal narrative. So the real question I want to leave you with is this: how are you going to frame your story?